The Black Death was a devastating global epidemic of bubonic plague that struck Europe and Asia in the mid-1300s. The plague arrived in Europe in October 1347 when 12 ships from the Black Sea docked at the Sicilian port of Messina. The epidemic killed 30 to 50% of the entire population of Europe. This affected all ages, both male and female. Between 75 and 200 million people died in a few years' time, starting in 1348 when the plague reached London. The Black Death was a bubonic plague pandemic occurring in Western Eurasia and North Africa from 1346 to 1353. It was the most fatal pandemic recorded in human history, causing the deaths of 75 to 200 million people, peaking in Europe from 1347 to 1351. Blood and pus seeped out of these strange swellings, which were followed by a host of other unpleasant symptoms: fever, chills, vomiting, diarrhea, terrible aches and pains. And eventually, death. The plague can also infect the lymphatic system. Today, diagnosis is made by taking samples from the patient, especially blood or part of a swollen lymph gland, and submitting them for laboratory testing. Once plague has been identified as a possible cause of illness, appropriate treatment should begin immediately. Plague is a very serious illness, but is treatable with commonly available antibiotics. The earlier a patient seeks medical care and receives treatment that is appropriate for plague, the better their chances of a full recovery. People in close contact with very sick pneumonic plague patients may be evaluated and possibly placed under observation. Preventative antibiotic therapy may also be given, depending on the type of timing of personal contact. Plague is easily treated with antibiotics and the use of standard precautions to prevent acquiring infection.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
People most commonly acquire plague when they are bitten by a flea that is infected with the plague bacteria. People can also become infected from direct contact with infected tissues or fluids while handling an animal that is sick with or that has died from the plague.